I thought I'd begin at the beginning by asking about when and why you became an artist. And I know everything written about you mentions the Joseph Beuys 1979 Guggenheim show catalogue and your reading of that, and it set up a notion of what modern art was and what an artist was. So could you just comment on that, Eugene?
Yes, Beuys was certainly the beginning of understanding what contemporary art was, as opposed to modern art. Before I discovered the wild and wacky world of contemporary art,
Yes.
I thought it was basically abstract painting.
Yes.
Sculpture is not necessarily 3D. It's you can have thought sculpture, and that includes scale. An exhibition can be just a shadow or the way a light is placed in a room, and that was a wonderful revelation in terms of art practice.
Yeah. And you mentioned Bellis Gallery. I mean, how significant was that, your tying in with a commercial gallery at that time? I think your first show there was 1987. I think Bellis opened in 1986.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was everything, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Without Peter, I don't think there'd be quite a lot of artists that would probably still be washing dishes or being cleaners, or not that that's a bad thing.
No.
So, being incredibly naive, I didn't know what that meant.
Yes.
To have someone represent you. And now I do.
Yeah.
35 years later.
Yeah. If we could just come to the nature of your work, Eugene, the sort of watercolours, and then I suppose the sort of constructivist sort of matchbox sculptures, for want of a better word, and installations I know as well. But could you just say something about those two kinds of work? And I know you do others, but those two kinds of work?
One informs the other, and there's also the sound aspect. It depends on what I'm feeling in that day. Sometimes work has to be tactile.
Yeah.
I've just been in love with matchboxes, the fact that there's a space inside them, and they're like small rooms.
Yes.
And just by themselves, they're sculptural, architectural elements.
Yes.
I could easily I'd love to have a show with just nothing in them, just with light placement.
Yes.
The way shadows fall across them. Does that answer that part?
The watercolours then.
Oh, there's drawings, there's watercolours, there's even paintings.
Paintings, right.
Not so much painting, but but I just have to go with whatever is happening in there that morning. I think it's all to do with light.
Yes.
Watercolour transfers light. You can see through watercolour.
Yeah. Is it sort of transparency?
Transparency, definitely. But it's ephemerality.
Yeah.
I think.
Time.
The fleeting nature of all things.
Yeah.
I guess that's why I like to use everyday materials like matchboxes.
Yeah.
How can I transform this into meaning?
Yeah. Yeah. Eugene, you've done a lot of collaborations with other artists. I mean, the list, but I think of John Catapan, Madonna Staunton, Dale Harding more recently, and Gordon Bennett. In your reflection on Gordon, say some more about, maybe about Gordon, but about your work and the collaborations with him.
Well, once again, opposites attract. Well, these were in the early days.
Yeah.
We were sort of starting out at pretty much at the same time.
Yeah.
Although he was going through art college.
Yeah.
I was totally naive.
Yeah.
Maybe still am.
Yeah.
And proud of it.
Yeah.
Whereas Gordon was very meticulous. The grey area was his forte.
Yeah.
Once again, things weren't black and weren't white. It was that grey area in between, which was very important for him, and he had to extract it.
Yeah. What's the sort of relationship between your music and the kinds of improvisational music and your works on paper, sculptural work and so on?
Well, the improvising, I think, is the key point.
Yeah.
There isn't a direct relationship in that one thing is as important as another.
Yeah.
It's like saying, well, the other day you seem to be really enjoying your sandwich.
Yeah.
Therefore, you only ever eat sandwiches.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas, life is a buffet of different things. Sometimes I have to, it's just a matter of expression. Just a sound work can be the work in a room, and you walk into a room, there's nothing there, just these vibrations.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's that?
Yeah.
Isn't that, it's just a magical thing. Well, you can debate on an ethereal level that colour is vibration.
Yeah.
And essentially the two are connected, right?
You can.
It's family.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that sums that up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.